Hey, my people, what is going on? It's your boy Mario of Woke Up a Rebel, and I'm here to bring you a new episode of Woke Up a Rebel Reacts. This is episode number 9, and I want to thank every single one of you who have subscribed. Thank you for doing so. It means the world to me, for every single one of you who give me feedback about the series, what's going on. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for liking the topics. If you have any suggestions for topics, please, by all means, let me know in the comments below. I would truly appreciate it. You know, we are a community. I'm trying to build some community over here with the people that follow this channel. All right, so we're gonna get straight to the video. I'm gonna be playing a video. It's about 16 minutes, almost 17 minutes long, right? And it's by Luisito Comunica. He is a Mexican media personality, and the way that I came to find out who he was, I think it was last year or the year before. Him and somebody else, they went together as a team to interview President Nayib Bukele, who is the president of El Salvador. El Salvador recently went through elections last week, and President Nayib Bukele won by landslide. Like, everybody knew that he was going to win. They wanted him to win. So that's what happened. And the reason why this is a big deal to me is because I am half Salvadoran. It says Salvadoreño, which is Salvadoran in Spanish, right? The other half is I'm half Mexican, Mexicano, right? So my father's Mexican, my mother's Salvadoran, and my mom didn't want me to be American. So she went back home and had me in El Salvador. So I'm actually very proud of that because I'm proud to be Salvadoran, you know? Came here to Canada when I was a kid, but, you know, it's still in my heart, it's still in my roots that I am Salvadoran. This is about Luisito Comunica visiting the maximum security facility in El Salvador. That facility is allegedly to hold the people that are considered terrorists. Before we get to that, I want to show you something real quick. I want to show you what the name of the prison is. The name of the prison is CECOT. I think that's how you say it. And it's an acronym for something. In Spanish, it means Centro de Confinamiento del Terrorismo, abbreviated CECOT. Is a maximum security prison located in Tecoluca, San Vicente, El Salvador. The prison was built from July 22nd to January 23rd amidst a large-scale gang crackdown. It was opened in January 2023 by President Nayib Bukele and received its first 2,000 prisoners in February 2023. As of July 9th, 2023, the prison has a population of over 12,500 inmates, with capacity for 40,000 inmates. It is the largest prison in Latin America. CECOT, as well as the gang crackdown as a whole, have been the subject of international media attention, receiving praise from the Salvadoran government, as well as criticism of alleged human rights violations. Right? So what I believe is the reason why they actually allowed media personnel to go into the prison is to actually report of the conditions that these people are living in. So, you know, this is very close to heart for me because at the end of the day, even though all of these are cold-blooded killers, you can't help but think that they're somebody's kid. They were somebody that was disadvantaged. You know, they were given a bad hand from the moment they were born, you know. Does it excuse the crimes and the atrocities that they have committed? Absolutely not. They're in the right place. Because now El Salvador is a safe place to travel to. And there's a lot of foreign investment coming into the country. So big up to President Nayib Bukele. Okay, so we're going to get into this video real quick. I'm going to go back to this. All right, and yeah, I'm going to be interrupting every now and then to say something if it's relevant to what is being shared in the video. This is a reaction video at the end of the day, so please don't expect to just watch the whole video. I can't just do that. I hope that this doesn't get flagged, you know, and I hope I can share this as fair use. And there has to be certain pauses throughout the video so that hopefully I don't get a copyright strike for this. So, Luisito, if you're hearing this, please, you know what I mean? Show your boy some love, okay? I'm trying to share your content.
Next, we will enter an isolation cell, which is where prisoners are sent when they commit an infraction. The only light entrance is a hole in the ceiling. How many people did you kill?
I do not remember.
How many were there?
We have committed different crimes at different times.
Absolutely everything is done in here. From going to the bathroom to cleaning up, everything is done in here open. This group behind me alone is very possibly responsible directly or indirectly for more than 200 homicides.
Okay, so that little clip, the little subtitle that we just saw, it's saying that in 2015, El Salvador registered approximately 6,656 homicides in 1 year. In 1 year, folks, in 1 year.
We are in El Salvador, and today we will enter the Terrorism Confinement Center, the largest prison in the Americas with a capacity to house about 40 prisoners, of which today a significant percentage are dangerous. Gang members and criminal leaders considered terrorists. This is a maximum security prison, and this is evident from the moment you are perhaps a kilometer from its perimeter, because there are already security elements that begin to interrogate you. They get out of your vehicle, they do a body search, they check your identification. Who are you? What are you doing here? They tell me that there are 7 security filters, those that are imposed, which makes it practically an impossible mission for anyone to enter or leave without full authorization.
So one thing that I was thinking was, why are they allowing all of these media personnel to go into the facility and expose what it looks like in there? Like, what if, I was thinking, what if people try to break out some of their homies, right? But then seeing this video, it showed me there's 7 security checkpoints. And so it's like almost like impossible to get in or out without having to go through some sort of team of soldiers with guns or police.
In this video, we will know a little of how life is here inside. What are some methods and punishments that are imposed to control today's inmates? What are some of the rules that the country has imposed to control the situation with its criminals? Come, the Lord is waiting for us. Let's give him...
I find it funny that he said, come, the Lord is waiting for me. The person that's translating what Luisito's saying, because obviously it's not Luisito actually talking, it got translated into English. I don't think he meant the Lord. I think he meant... he's probably said, aquí nos espera el Señor. Like, here's the man is waiting. The gentleman is waiting. So it's not the Lord of the prison. Can you imagine? Or maybe it could be the warden.
Come in. Of course, they take all your belongings, phone, wallets, nothing. You can get in. It is even very interesting that the prison is built with a technology that does not allow a telephone signal, so that nothing really communicates from inside here. They also pass you to one floor where they search you, they take off your shoes, they even check the thickness of your socks. It is not for nothing that it is defined as a maximum security prison. When a person deprived of his freedom, that is a prisoner, enters here, his whole body is searched with a technology that allows us to literally see if there is anything inside his body. Data capture is taken, and he proceeds to go to the module assigned to him. Oh, by the way, we are able to enter to document with special press permits.
So does that mean that they don't have to bend over and cough anymore? That would be, I guess, a plus if you're going to prison, that now they can scan you instead of, or maybe they make them do both, who knows?
But we do not really admit any type of visit. People deprived of their liberty in these types of prisons, specially designated for terrorists, are not entitled to any visits. Nothing about, I want to see my mom, I want to see my wife, my daughter, nothing. You lost that right because of the decisions you made in the armory. You have guns, of course, to control in the event of a riot or similar situation. To date, there has not been one. And look, these are the hand and foot cuffs that are placed on prisoners who have to leave their cells, whether for food, exercise, medical care, etc. You don't leave without a pair of these. This is a surprisingly light but sturdy bulletproof vest. We are already inside one of the modules that has 32 cells, of which each one has a capacity to receive about 100 people deprived of their freedom. Although these numbers may vary, it is very shocking to see it up close. Criminals sleep in a 4-tier bunk system without any kind of mattress, and once people enter here, they will not leave until they finish their sentences. We're talking about criminals here with sentences ranging from 20 years to over 1,000 years. Literally, there are beings who did crimes such that they were given sentences of more than 1,000 years. Hence the saying that when you enter the sector, you do not leave until you finish your sentence, because everything, absolutely everything, is done in here. From going to the bathroom to washing up, everything is done here open. Another shocking fact is that the light...
He said everything is done out in the open there. There's no secrets, there's no nothing. So I'm just thinking, like, I mean, they're all killers. You know what I mean? I don't think none of them are afraid of the other. They're all real killers, right? The ones that are in that prison, that particular prison. And I just can't imagine what it would be like to be in a room with all those people. And then on top of that, you're in one giant cell with bunk beds. And they don't separate them by gang. They have all of them bunched in the room together in the same cell. It doesn't matter which gang they're a part of. 18th Street, MS, and I forgot there's another Revolutionaries, I think. It's a branch off the 18th Street. They're all in there together. And they have to behave.
Lights are never turned off here, not even to sleep, which makes you completely lose track of time. There are no clocks, so you don't know what time it is. It depends entirely on the schedules imposed on you by the custodians when they enter. Everyone has to be abducted. We can also see that everyone has the same uniform, and there are collective pots which they use to shower, to bathe, to do. We can also see that here there is a person from the medical team who comes every morning to leave pills for people who have some condition, who maybe are feeling some discomfort. Even their hearings, in case their sentences have to be extended, are done from here inside. I want you to pay attention to this. We are in the module, here are the cells, and right here is the fourth of face-to-face and notification. This is in case any of the prisoners have been accused of new crimes for which they have not been tried, that this may extend their sentences. So from Juan Perez, come here, they found you a new crime. They are accusing you of something else because they are informing you of all this, and then in this other room here, they do the confrontation, they do the recognition of identity. Then they form different prisoners. They give them a number on this side. Okay, here, this is a glass that can be seen perfectly from there. From here to there, it is like a mirror. So the person who is crossing here can identify the aggressors, the accused, and without having set foot outside the module, this person is already accused of a different crime and can already spend many more years in here.
It seems like this is a new thing where all of this process is done in the same building, right? This prisoner is not even going to get to see daylight, go for a ride and see the daytime, get to see the city for a little bit as they go to the courthouse or something. Everything is done in-house in this facility. That's crazy.
Likewise, here inside the module are the courtrooms where the accused can talk to their lawyers. All of that is respected here, and their new sentences are read to them all remotely. This is very impressive. So here they have the cameras for video calls. Here they sit those already sentenced. Here they listen. Here they can dialogue. Here they can talk. Here they can speak everything remotely. So I repeat, you don't set foot outside. No, this is truly amazing. They are taking us to another area. And notice this detail. Every time you change area, the floor is made of stones on purpose to make noise in case someone escapes. Make every little step more than evident. Let's go up to one of the watchtowers. From up here, we can see some of the modules and we can appreciate the security rings. The highest walls are 9 meters of concrete, followed by 3 meters of electrified fencing. I was allowed to go up to the catwalk area, which is where security bodies are strategically placed to be able to see from above into the cells. Here we can observe some of the methods that the prisoners use to sleep, as you will see in their welcome kit, and so we could call them. They are given a sheet, they are given their uniform, and they are given a towel. You can see that some choose to cover themselves with the sheet and put the t-shirts over their eyes to keep the light out so they can sleep, and still others choose to lie on their towels. We are now witnessing a cell extraction. This is an activity that is done once a day so that the prison...
And I imagine it's hot in there too, so having your face covered on top of that sounds wild.
Prisoners can exercise. What is done is that the criminals are taken out of the cell in an orderly fashion, 5 by 5 or sometimes 10 by 10. They are placed in a row and handcuffs are placed on their wrists and ankles. Sometimes they are also joined together. They are then escorted to a designated area of the module where they will be surrounded by guards so that they can move around without the possibility of rebelling. Similarly, here we can see that most, if not all, of the guards choose to cover their faces for their own safety and that of their families, because in many cases they themselves live in neighborhoods that have been previously ruled by gang members, so they do not want to have to pay negative consequences for the work they are doing here or for their country.
And straight up, that's an honorable thing. It's amazing. Like, shout out to all of the people involved, all of the prison guards, all of the military, every single police officer that has been involved in making El Salvador a better country for future generations. I applaud y'all, straight up. It's a brave thing that you guys are doing. You're really risking your lives out there.
Their loved ones. Oh, and see from inside the cell, they put the handcuffs on their wrist first, of course, so that no one can push the door open once it is opened. And look, right now we are seeing how they are being escorted one prisoner at a time. Look how the chain is attached to their legs. All this with the intention of minimizing risks. Talking with a guard, I was just given a piece of information that shocked me, and that is that this group alone, which is behind my back, is very possibly directly or indirectly responsible for more than 200 homicides. What a blood-curdling piece of information. Once they are formed and the perimeter is protected by guards, their handcuffs are removed so that they can move freely and thus exercise. It is quite frightening to be just a few meters...
I'm sorry, that caught me off guard. Like, those guys right there alone are responsible for at least 200 murders. And now the question is, how many of those were innocent people and how many of those murders were other gang members, right? But the reality is, I'm pretty sure they killed a lot of innocent people for simple, petty things, It's sad.
Away from murderous kidnappers without any kind of protection. Luckily, there are literally dozens of guards surrounding me. But I won't deny it, this is a scary experience. Looking at the tattoos some of them have on their chests and backs, we can see what gangs they used to belong to. Most allude to Mara Salvatrucha or 18, which are gangs, historically enemies. It is interesting to see the strategy of putting them together in the same cell to represent that the gang no longer cares about you. That has been left in the past, and this ideology has changed this system of separating the gangs by cells so they don't fight. Here they are practically being forced to reach a peace agreement. They gave me a reading of profiles that list crimes they have committed, and it is very difficult to listen to them and it makes your skin crawl. Rape, aggravated homicides, kidnappings, truly inhumane acts. I got to read profiles whose sentences listed 270 years, and this, if not more crimes, are added to the years they have left to live. And if seeing all these images, it is easy to suddenly be moved, to touch your heart, to say, wow, what harsh mistreatment inside the prison, but when you learn of the inhumane atrocities they have committed, it makes sense.
Sorry, I didn't mean to stop it right there with this guy looking at us. But did you hear what he said? Wow, like the amount of time that these guys are going to spend in prison for the rest of their lives. It's like the prison ideology is forcing them to, it's like, yo, in here, that's street crap. That doesn't ruin that. We're not going to tolerate that in here. And they have to live in peace and they have to coexist. Sorry, I'll stop right now because this guy's creeping me out.
Next, we will enter an isolation cell, which is where the prisoners are sent when they commit an infraction. They are always locked with a padlock and basically consist of this space in which they have a cement slab, they have a tub of water with a bucket, they have an access to drainage, and they have a bathroom. The only light that you have is a hole in the ceiling, and depending on the severity of your infraction, the number of hours you have to spend here will be defined. I can tell you that it is a very claustrophobic sensation, very dark and echo accompanied by a silence that weakens anyone, a very serious punishment. I do not want to imagine myself in a situation like this in which I would be locked up in this cell. The isolation cells have this hatch through which food is passed, and likewise with this small window through which you can supervise the person who is in there. You can close the door and check. Right now we have the camera light on. Turn it off, it's completely dark, right? This is a traumatizing experience. If we talk about the food, they serve 3 courses of food. I asked to taste the breakfast, that's what I'm going to get. Now we can see that it consists of rice with beans, cream, and 2 tortillas. They tell me that breakfast and dinner is usually the same, it is usually the same dish, and at lunchtime maybe they can serve some pasta, maybe they can serve a rice with a different preparation, but they never really eat chicken or meat. That doesn't exist here. That doesn't exist here. What do we get, frijolito? We get cream. Each plate of food is put...
When I first watched this video and I wondered, why aren't they giving them meat? I'm assuming it's costly, but at the same time, do you really want bulked up killers? Do you really want them to be at full strength, if not better than what they would usually be on the street? Because they could probably overpower, the prison guards. You know what I mean? If they're all average Salvadoran height, they're not that tall. I'll tell you that for a fact. So it could be a strategy, right, to keep them a little bit weaker, to have them be vegetarians. And I'm not saying that you're weak if you're a vegetarian. Don't get it twisted, people out there. Please don't come for me, vegetarians. I'm just saying, look what they're eating. They're eating beans, sour cream, cheese or something, and tortillas. How much super strength they're going to get from that?
Put on the scale and has to weigh 1 pound. There is no distinction of any kind of rank here. Everyone, absolutely everyone, eats the same. Today you are probably wondering about the people who are here working, packing the food. They are also people serving time in prison. Yes, but they are what we might call low-risk criminals. Basically, all of them are in another prison, not in this one, because I repeat that this one is only for terrorists. All these people are under supervision and they are brought in to work from other prisons to do some of their community service. As I was telling you, they never leave the modules, and this also applies to meal times. We can see that the plates and trays are left just outside the bars, and they are the ones who take them and hand them out. I wondered how they managed to prevent abuses and the food from being stolen so that someone is left without food. They tell me that all this is controlled from above, there is supervision, and they make sure that everyone is eating. And in the same way, we can see that there are custodians here watching that the food is distributed fairly once they finish their food. It is their job to rinse the dishes, to leave them relatively clean. They leave them there to be picked up, and then they can use that water to clean their mouths, to clean their bodies. We are going to talk now with a prisoner who has been involved in gangs since he was young. He has been here for a very long time and has a lot more to come. What gangs do you belong to?
All right, so before we get into that, I just want to point something out. From what I've seen so far, they're being treated humanely. In fact, what they're being taught is discipline. They're being taught collaboration. They're being taught that, hey, don't be a bully. Basically, don't be a bully. They wash their plates. They make them wash their plates so that they can reuse their container again. Like that's different. That's different. It's almost as if they're actually trying to help them reintegrate back into society. Isn't that what a facility is supposed to do? A prison?
To the MS-13
Why are you here?
for multiple offenses.
Like what?
Homicides, deprivation of liberty, kidnapping, etc. How many people did you kill? I don't remember. So many were. We have committed different crimes at different times.
How long have you been in prison?
I entered at the age of 21 and I am 47 years old.
How much time do you have
When
left?
God permits, I will go out. Don't get into criminal groups like gangs, organized crime. Nothing that is crimes or sins on this earth. Because the consequences are serious even if they offer you heaven or earth. That is a lie of the devil.
It is very sad to hear these stories and to know that it is the case of many of those here who committed horrible crimes when they were just children. Their environment got them involved in gangs. The society they grew up in made them believe that this was the right path. Yes, it's very hard, it's very sad. And I mean, whatever time you're watching me, you may think that the gang is your only escape. There's always another way. And you don't have to look for the easy way out. I leave this prison in El Salvador very shocked and with a strange feeling of relief. I can tell you that I have visited many prisons and have documented several for the channel. It gives a horrible feeling of helplessness when you visit prisons where criminals who have done horrible things live like kings. To be able to appreciate these conditions and these measures in a maximum security prison gives a certain feeling of empowerment to a simple citizen like me. What feeling do you leave with? I'll read them down here in the comments. Many thanks to the people in the industry for opening the doors for me to be able to document this and share it with you. See you as always, in a few days with a new video.
So we just checked out Luisito Comunica. He went to El Salvador to the maximum security prison. To be honest, I haven't been back home since I was 13. And I don't know, I just haven't, but I think now is a very good time to go check it out. Maybe this year. I just, man, I can't believe, a lot of us, especially some of us that grew up here in Canada, we glorified gangs. We glorified gang violence. We wanted to hang out with these people, especially a lot of us that, came from not so great neighborhoods. And, there was always choices. There were always options on who you could hang out with. But it seemed very appealing to be around these type of people. At the end of the day, they're just all broken people that feel like there are no other options. It's never a good path to take, honestly. Gangs, like, this is the real gang stuff. All of these people that like to flash gangs like it's cool. No, it's not cool. This is what happens. You are eventually going to have to make a choice and be put in a situation if you're in a real, like, living the life, and have to take somebody's life. And, nobody should have to live with that. Nobody should have to do that, right? So after watching this, do you feel there's certain human rights groups that are saying that what Bukele is doing to these people is inhumane, but I don't know what we saw, if it was inhumane what we saw. I saw that they were being treated with a lot of respect, and they're actually trying to help them. They give them vitamins, they give them medication, whatever they need. So where's the mistreatment? Everything's just being processed a lot faster, I think, and that's why they're able to actually imprison these people for a long time, because all the court proceedings or things are done in-house, which is very clever. Let me know what you thought in the comment box. Are you planning on visiting El Salvador this year or anytime soon in the next few years? Let me know. It is a beautiful country. Check out Surf City. It's an amazing place. The entire country is beautiful. Get to check out some volcanoes. The beaches are beautiful. So thank you so much for watching this video. I am your boy Mario of Woke Up a Rebel. Please subscribe to the channel down below. Please give it a like, share it with a few people that you think could find value in this, and I shall see you in the next video. Peace.